calling to order the Monday, March 17th, 2014 regular meeting of the 35th Council of the City of Berkeley. Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Baker?
Here.
Councilmember Blanchard?
Here.
Councilmember Edgar?
Here.
Councilmember Kadekel?
Here.
Councilmember Stedman?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Turbrack?
Here.
And Mayor O'Dwyer.
Here. The first order of business is the approval of tonight's agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Motion to
Support.
approve by Councilmember Baker with support by Councilmember Blanchard. Are there any changes, additions? Hearing none, Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll?
Blanchard?
Yes.
Edgar?
Yes.
Kadekel?
Yes.
Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
O'Dwyer.
Yes. And now we have Deacon Brian Carroll to lead us in prayer.
O good and gracious God, we give you thanks for all the gifts you give us. We thank you for the gift of what we take to be this early spring day. We ask your blessing upon this meeting of the Berkeley City Council. May its discussions be cogent and wise. May its decisions be for the building up of this community. And let us all say Amen.
Amen. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now we come to the citizens' comments portion of tonight's meeting, when you may present your thoughts on issues that are not included on the agenda. Council members will not engage you in discussion. If your concern needs to be addressed by a member of city staff or a department of the city, please sign your name on the sheet provided at the clerk's table. You may speak on a specific agenda item when that is being considered. When you come to the microphone, please state your name and city of residence.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, it is with great pleasure that I introduce to you Mr. Matthew Meste. He is the new intern for the City of Berkeley. You know, it has been more than 10 years since the City of Berkeley has had and has been able to offer an internship. And this year, for the very first time in more than 10 years, we have an opportunity to bring an intern to our community. You know, an internship is an investment into the future. And it is how I began, how many of us, I think, began our careers in local government. So with that, I'd like to turn this over now to Mr. Meste so that he can tell you a little bit about about himself and what he hopes to do. So welcome, Matt.
Very good. Thank you, City Manager. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. First off, happy St. Patty's Day. I know it's the mayor's favorite holiday.
Trying to butter him up now.
As the city manager said, my name's Matt Meste. A little background on myself. I earned a bachelor's degree in communication disorders from Central Michigan University with a minor in psychology. Currently, I'm at Oakland University working on my master's in public administration. I have to say, Oakland University is a fantastic place to learn, and I couldn't be happier with my advisors and teachers. I went through 2 interviews with Ms. DeSessa, and luckily enough, she called me back to get the position. And I have to say that I've interacted with Mr. Sabuda and the rest of the directors and heads, and the first thing I've noticed is that everybody here is truly a good person and that they have a public service ethic. So in closing, I'd like to say thank you for the opportunity. I know that because of your vote, I'm allowed to be here. I'm really hoping to gain a lot from this experience, and I hope I can have a positive impact on your community. So, thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Seeing no one else coming to the microphone, then we move on to the consent agenda. Ms. Prince, would you please read the items on tonight's consent agenda?
Yes. Item number 1, minutes. Matter of approving the minutes of the regular 35th City Council meeting of March 3rd, 2014. Item number 2, warrant. Matter of approving warrant number 1276. Item number 3, ordinance number 0114. Matter of approving the second reading of an ordinance amending Chapter 82, Offenses and Miscellaneous Provisions, Article 5, Offenses Against Public Peace, Section 82-151, Disorderly Persons of the Berkeley City Code to repeal the prohibition of begging in public places.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve?
Motion to approve by Councilmember Edgar.
Support.
Support by Councilmember Kadekel. Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll?
Yes. Edgar?
Yes.
Kadekel?
Yes.
Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Blanchard?
Yes.
O'Dwyer.
Yes. And now we move on to the regular agenda. Ms. Prince, would you please read item number 1 on the regular agenda?
Recognitions and presentations. Matter of any recognitions or presentations from the consent agenda.
Seeing no recognitions or presentations, then we move on to item number 2.
Motion number M914, matter of approving appointments to various boards and commissions.
Is there a motion to approve M914?
Move to approve.
Support.
Move to approve by Councilmember Kadekel and support by Councilmember Blanchard. Now, the issue here is the appointment of one person to the Zoning Board of Appeals and 3 people to the Woodward Dream Cruise Committee. Mr. Sessa?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor and City Council. Under this item, what we're looking to do is to appoint some members to the Woodward Dream Cruise Ad Hoc Committee. Right now, I have 3 individuals. I know that there are others, but again, it just take me a few more weeks, hopefully, and I'll get more individuals. But as they come in, I hope to bring them to the City Council for consideration. In this council meeting, I'm asking the council to reappoint these individuals, Denise Allard as their representative, Cinda Kuhn as a service organization representative. She will be representing the Junior Women's Club, and Judy Rubin also as a service organization representative, and she'll be representing the Tri-Community Coalition. So with that, Your Honor, those are the individuals in City Council that I'm recommending your consideration for appointment to the Woodward Dream Cruise Ad Hoc Committee. Now also, as the mayor mentioned, we are also recommending Mr. Paul Evans for appointment to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Now, Mr. Evans, he has been a substitute for many years, so he's quite familiar with the ZBA, and we're very, very appreciative of all his work. I know that he's been at all the meetings, and he's very knowledgeable. So let me just give you a little bit of background about Mr. Evans. And it is tremendous, I must say. He currently works for the city of Troy, and he is a zoning and code compliance employee. And he has also worked as an inspector, also for the city of Troy. And he's also worked as a staff planner for the city of Farmington Hills. So as you can see, his background is extensive in this area. And there is a copy of his resume as well, Your Honor, so you can look into it. So it's very, very good. He has been a resident of the city of Berkeley for more than 2 years. And he has, I believe, because of his background, I believe he feels that he is more than qualified to be appointed to the ZBA. With regards to his education, he has a Bachelor of Science in Public Administration from Grand Valley State University. He also he has a certification as a zoning administrator from the Michigan State University. And he has completed his FEMA Incident Command System for supervisors and expanding incidents. He did this back in 2008. And he continues his education, and he attends several classes or courses that are provided by the Michigan Municipal League, the Michigan Townships Association, and things of that nature. So with that, Your Honor, I believe that he is here with us this evening. I don't know if he'd like to say anything, but we are recommending his appointment for your consideration.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Councilmember Kadekel.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. About a half hour ago, I spoke, or maybe a little longer, with Chairman Mark Kuhn from the Woodward Dream Cruise Committee. And the first meeting, for those of you that are attending, will be Thursday, March 27th at 6:30 p.m. upstairs across the street at the police station. And also, based on what Ms. Spies DeSessa said about Mr. Evans, He's an excellent choice, as she said. He does come to all the meetings, and he's great. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any, Councilmember Blanchard?
Thank you. Just a quick comment. I have been working with the Chamber of Commerce also to get a representative on this Woodward Ad hoc Committee and with other businesses to try and get some more people. So hopefully we'll have some very interested people shortly.
Thank you.
And we'll get the names to the city manager.
Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else? Well, it falls to me to thank all of these people and all of our volunteers who are dedicated and passionate. And these names have been here year in, year out, volunteering and being part of our community. And it is impressive that they continue to serve the community in this capacity, and we're enormously thankful to them. So the vote then will appoint Paul Evans to the Zoning Board of Appeals, Denise Allard, Cinda Kuhn, and Judy Rubin to the Woodward Dream Cruise.
Mr. Mayor, one more thing, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I would like to thank Linda Rogers, who served 18 years on the Zoning Board of Appeals, and she's moved out of the city, and that is why we have this replacement here with Mr. Evans. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Correct. Thank you. And now, Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll on M914?
Kadeco?
Yes.
Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Blanchard?
Yes.
Edgar?
Yes.
O'Dwyer.
Yes. Now, Ms. Prince, would you please read item number 3?
Motion number M1014, matter of authorizing the Knights of Columbus, 2299 West 12 Mile Road, Berkley, Michigan, to conduct a Tootsie Roll Drive in the city of Berkeley on April 18th through April 20th, 2014, from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Is there a motion to approve M1014?
Motion to approve?
Motion to approve by Councilmember Stedman with support by Mayor Pro Tem Turbrack. Mr. Sessa?
Council, as you know, this is an annual event for the Knights of Columbus. They have done this for many, many years. The purpose of this item is so that they can do a statewide fundraiser in order so that they can assist their main charity, and that is to help those who are less fortunate. I know that they have worked with public safety in the past to make sure that wherever they're located, that it is in a safe place. They are recommending this for your consideration. I know Chief Eshman, if he has any question or can assist in any questions, is here. We are recommending them for your consideration.
Any questions, discussion on this annual and wonderful? Chief, do you have anything to add?
Only that there are 3 locations this year. Thus far, 2 private property involved. One is Westbourne Market, the other is Vibe Credit Union. And of course, 12 Mile and Coolidge is the 3rd location, which is annual. We've never had a problem with this event. 100% of the collections go to charities. So we're recommending approval.
Very good. Thank you. This is, again, a wonderful undertaking by the Knights of Columbus. They do a great job. Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll on M1014?
Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Blanchard?
Yes.
Edgar?
Yes.
Kadeco?
Yes.
O'Dwyer.
Yes. And now, Ms. Prince, would you please read item number 4?
Ordinance number 0214, matter of considering a first reading of an ordinance of the Council of the City of Berkeley, Michigan, amending Chapter 26, Article 9, Property Maintenance Code of the Berkeley City Code to adopt the 2012 International Property Maintenance Code. Set date certain April 7th, 2014.
Is there a motion to approve 0214?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilmember Blanchard.
Support.
Support by Councilmember Kadeco. Mr. Sessa?
Council, with this, I really don't have much more to say except that this is an update. We are recommending it. We'd like to make sure that our departments can enforce the rules, and this is a simple update. I'd be happy to answer any questions. I know that the city planner as well. If there's anything we can do, be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions? Discussion? Everybody had the opportunity to read all of the associated material? Copious notes here.
Yes.
So, Ms. Prince, will you please call the roll on 0214?
Turbrack?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Blanchard?
Yes.
Edgar?
Yes.
Kadeco?
Yes.
Stedman?
Yes.
O'Dwyer.
Yes. Now, Ms. Prince, would you please read item number 5?
Motion number M1114, matter of accepting a bid and authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with SHW Group Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $24,900 to develop a municipal building assessment.
Is there a motion to approve M 1114?
Motion to approve M 1114. Support.
Motion to approve by Councilmember Baker with support by Mayor Pro Tem Terbrack. Mr. Sessa.
Mr. Mayor and City Council, you know that we've been working on this matter for quite a long time, and so I'm glad that we're finally able to come up with a recommendation for your consideration. You know, the maintain of our buildings, of our facilities is very key, and for many, many years, you know, we've just simply done a quick repairs here and there, but really no true plans as to how to ensure that our facilities are maintained correctly. Our buildings are aging, and we want to make sure that we care for them properly. You know, we have our city planner with us, Miss Amy Vanson, this evening. She will come before you and give you a brief overview exactly as to what this contract is all about. We also have representatives from SHW. We have Margie Simmons. She is the CEO of SHW, and Mr. John Glazer. He's also of SHW, and they'll be here as well. They are here to help answer any questions that you may have and introduce themselves to you as well. Now, before Ms. Vanson approaches and tells you about this great project, some of the key items that we hope to be able to accomplish by doing this study is, as I mentioned earlier, we want to make sure that we're able to determine the conditions of each of the buildings. We're hoping to identify some of the estimated or projected costs as to what it would do what we should do in order to repair or maybe just not, no longer do. Helps us to identify the conditions of our facilities. In other words, is this facility worth the investment to continue to make the investments or the upgrades? Also, it'll help us to identify the projected lifespan of each of our facilities if a recommended repair is being recommended. Also, we're looking at the payback period should whatever it is they're proposing is feasible. So we're hoping to be able to accomplish all of these items. And of course, one of the key things that we're also looking for is to help us to identify a recommendation as to where the most appropriate building location for our courtroom, city council room should be. And so these are some of the items that they're going to be looking at. And in conclusion, these are some of the final recommendations we hope to get answers to. And with that, I will turn it over to Ms. Vanson. She is, our city planner is heading this project. I'd also like to recognize our Director of Public Works, Mr. Derek Schuler, who's also working with us, and also my assistant, Darshelle Strickland-Love. But Ms. Vanson is heading this project, and she will be carefully making sure that the project goes through smoothly. Okay, so Ms. Vanson, thank you.
Good evening. It's weird being over here instead of over there. As Ms. DeSessa said, we've got some buildings that we've deferred maintenance on. We've done some Band-Aids. We've done what we can, and sometimes that's been good, and sometimes it's probably not good enough. And so we need a set of independent eyes, educated eyes to look at them, and that is why we're looking at this building assessment from an architecture firm. We had a kickoff meeting, a mandatory kickoff meeting, where interested firms could come and ask any questions of us. And then there was a mandatory walkthrough of all 5 buildings that were included in this study, so that the would-be candidates would know exactly what they were getting into. We received 4 proposals, as are outlined in my report. And essentially what we're going to want them to look at, as Ms. DeSessa said, that's what the final report's going to have them look at. But we want them to look at the exterior building. We want them to look at the foundations of these buildings. We want them to look at the electrical and the heating and all those things that make a building pleasant to be in. Also means of egress, fire suppression, that sort of thing. And not only that, but the overall energy efficiency of the building. All of our buildings, well, most of our buildings were built before 1972, when we didn't really care about energy and saving it. So that's what we're going to ask these architects to take a look at and give us some recommendations on what the costs of improving this. Does it make sense to improve it? Does it make sense to scrap it and start again? What's going to be the best use of taxpayer dollars? And that's going to be a useful tool to you as well as the finance director and the city manager going forward with budgets. So we received 4 proposals. They were all good. They were, as you can see in my report, they varied in price quite a bit. The first one, the lowest bid, was only $1,600, and I do see that there is a typo. I said see attachment, and I didn't attach, and I'm sorry. It was a really busy week with the Home Expo, so my apologies. But Partners in Architecture had the lowest bid. They also said that they would credit the city for the full amount if future work for any of the improvements was given to them. My feeling was this would not be an unbiased professional opinion, or it could be construed as biased, that they would be saying improvements needed to be made just to get the work. And I don't think that that would serve you or the city well to have that shadow over a report. SHW's group, they're a firm out of Berkley. As you well know, it was a well-written, easily understandable, it was a good proposal. Their work samples were good. They offered all 5 buildings along with the fire hall recommendations for $24,900. The next lowest bid was a team, Strategic Energy Solutions, which is also a Berkeley business, and Hamilton Anderson out of Detroit, same for all 5 buildings plus fire hall, $49,500. And then Fishbeck, Thompson, Carr, and Huber out of Grand Rapids, $52,80. So SHW, Strategic Energy Solutions, Hamilton Anderson, and Fishbeck, all good proposals. Work samples were clear, but SHW, $24,900. They're going to do good work for us. We're confident in that. They're a good corporate citizen, and we were impressed with their work samples, and so that's why they're being recommended this evening. Do you have any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Benson? Councilmember Baker.
Yes, thank you. Amy, thank you for preparing this report and for doing the work to solicit these bids, to the process of guiding them through all of the stages and getting their full awareness of the scope of the project, and that we hope to do. And thank you for your submission as well, and to you both for being here tonight. I had a couple of timing questions and scoping questions. So if we were to proceed with this, could you give us a time frame of when this would begin and about how long it would take?
We are looking, the city manager's assistant, Darshelle Strickland-Love, she had, and I actually have to say, she developed a lot of this request for proposal, and I looked at it, so I have to give kudos to her. I'm up here, but she did a lot of the work. She's looking at an April 1st kickoff meeting. If that works out with SHWs, we're working on timing at this point, and obviously we didn't want to have the cart before the horse,
Right.
Once you guys okay it, but we were looking at April 1st, and I think it was a pretty quick time frame. I know that Darshelle had talked to John, who's behind me, and it looked like it was going to be a pretty quick turnaround time, so you guys will have a report and a useful tool for, future CIPs and so forth.
The goal is.
Oh, go ahead. I will let you talk now.
Thanks.
Okay, Margie.
Well, I guess first of all, I just want to thank you for the opportunity as a proud Berkeley business. We are very excited about this particular opportunity to serve the city. To answer your question, I think in our schedule, the completion of the project is scheduled for the end of June. But of course, and that's very dependent upon having the right people available at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have to coordinate with the folks, with the city. So as long as they're available, we'll be available. And if everything goes as planned, we should have a complete report by the end of June.
Right. That makes a lot of sense, given the thorough nature of the kinds of questions that we're asking, that you need to have that time and access to the right resources to make sure that due diligence is properly carried forth with that. So that's excellent. Would there be some form of like a public presentation or open house, or how do we imagine sharing this information once it's been
The final
prepared?
report is given in draft form for the city to review, and then after the draft is approved as final, you can have it presented. But right now, I think what's in our proposal is a report. But obviously, we could come and present.
Mr. Sessa. Oh.
Yeah,
If I may just
follow up to that, yeah.
Yes, just a
Yeah.
quick follow-up. once we finish the report, it becomes finalized. We've also asked for them to be able to provide it for us electronically. So if we'd like to place it on our website or do a minor presentation on it to our public, certainly this is something that we'd be more than happy to do. We'd like to do that for the city council, actually. So we'll be having a special work session with the city council. You all don't know that yet, but that's coming, and we can talk about the findings.
And of course, presentations on facility assessments and deferred maintenance are incredibly exciting.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah,
you get a
what?
big turnout.
Tickets are going to fly off the shelves. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. One last question, if I may, on the scoping perspective. Again, just to ensure what I think we read and what we heard here, this includes not only the 5 buildings that have been identified, but also the historic fire hall. And thanks again to Amy for the work from several years ago. Back in the fall of 2009, you applied for the grant to get a study about the ways that we could rehab or reimagine that facility. And I'm pleased to see that work will continue here. I actually recently re-reviewed the materials that they produced for us in the spring of 2010 in anticipation and preparation for this discussion tonight. Real excited to see not only what we can and should do or consider or not do or not consider with our existing facilities, but how we could leverage this tremendous asset here behind us. So just wanted to again confirm that was part of the scope and part of the work that we were going to look at. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Turbrack.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Actually, just a comment, looking over the proposals, as Amy mentioned, just the fact that we were able to get 2 local businesses to submit proposals for this type of work, it's pretty proud for the city of Berkeley. I think that we have such reputable businesses, and we're going to get the opportunity to work with the SHW group, who we've been able to see grow and expand in the city of Berkeley over the past few years. So I'm very excited to see us move forward, and thank you guys for all your work in submitting the proposal.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Question or comment?
Yes, sure.
This is somewhat of an awkward situation for me, but since my company was brought up in the presentation from Amy, I thought it would be important for me to make a little bit of a commentary. Partners in Architecture made a proposal, as she mentioned, at $1,600, incredibly low price, right? And I wanted to make clear that it is a bona fide, complete assessment price. The RFP asked for a discounting mechanism. That's why we included the statement that we did. Our firm focuses on this type of work. We have completed multiple citywide assessments throughout the Metro Detroit area. We have completed over 100 municipal type projects. We have completed projects with grant components to them, as you asked for. I would have appreciated, as a business owner, that has put forward a great deal of time to put forward a proposal for this job. Not only this one, but in the past also for Berkeley. I really want to work for the city. My proposal should have screamed that loud and clear with the price. It is not a trick price. I have done that many times. I included a proposal example with my information that was even less than the price that I proposed for this. There was no subsequent work. This is what we do. We know how to do it. We know how to do it efficiently and do it well. I wish there would have been some dialogue. I reached out to the city and asked, can we answer any questions or anything along those lines? I feel like there's a missed opportunity for the citizens of Berkeley right now when you could save over $23,000 in the assessment piece with no guarantee of anything in the future. And a question was asked, what would you offer? We made an offer. Not to be considered, I feel as though maybe we're missing the boat, or we had some disconnect that we could have handled if we had a conversation. Do I feel like maybe there's a little something shorthanded on my side? Yes. I can't help but say that, but I'm standing here for you tonight telling you my offer is complete, 100%. If we don't do anything in the future, it is the offer that it is. I'll do the assessment, 100% complete. I listed more than the references that you asked for. Any of them will attest to what I just told you. We have no unsatisfied clients. Hopefully that clears up the comment that was made. I don't expect anything from that, but I wanted to make sure that my voice on that issue was raised.
Thank you for clarifying that, because that is also an important piece of information for us to understand.
If there's any questions or a meeting that would be subsequent to this that would help any uncertainty, I'd be more than welcoming that opportunity. Again, I just want to work for the city of Berkeley.
Right.
That's why I went through the effort.
Very good. Thank you very much. Any other comments? this effort here on the part of the city is to protect our investment and the investment of generations of taxpayers before us who invested in these buildings, who built these buildings. And now, in our day and time, it is our challenge to protect them, to renovate them, to bring them into compliance with environmental philosophies of today and cut the expense. We spend an enormous amount of money on heating and cooling these buildings, and much of it goes out the window and out through cracks in the walls, and rain comes in through other cracks. And it is well past time for us to take a good look, an objective look at our buildings. And then we'll have to figure out how we respond to the findings. And that becomes a bigger challenge. So if there isn't any other comment then, Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll on M1114?
Baker?
Yes.
Blanchard?
Yes.
Edgar?
Yes.
Kadeco?
Yes.
Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
O'Dwyer?
Yes. Now, Ms. Prince, would you please read item number 6?
Motion number M1214, matter of approving the Dig agreement between the City of Berkeley and the Dig System Incorporated.
Is there a motion to approve M1214?
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion to approve by Councilmember Blanchard with support by Councilmember Kadeco. Mr. Sessa.
Council, I'm sure many of you have heard that word, MISTIG. It's a very important, important words, especially when you're making some improvements to our infrastructure. I know that this item that's coming before you is something that SACRA, which we are members of, has asked us to talk to the city councils and discuss. And in order to provide you with a background on that, I've asked our Director of Public Works, Mr. Derek Schuler, to do so. So with that, Mr. Schuler, thank you.
Good evening. Before you tonight is an agreement for MISDIG, and just as a matter of background, MISDIG provides or facilitates the marking of underground utilities prior to excavations. So whether that's public or private, they are a one-stop shop for marking underground utilities, and in hopes of not hitting lines when you're digging. SACWA has provided the MISDIG service to Berkeley as well as the other 13 member communities for several years, and with some new legislation that has passed, it has become necessary for all the 13 SACWA communities to enter into their own MISDIG agreements. So that's why we're before you tonight. The new legislation, one of the changes was to provide a positive response to every MISDIG ticket. And what that means is each time that we're requested to mark our utilities, water, sewer primarily, we have to go into a now web-based platform to show that we've either marked the line, not marked the line, in progress. We have to provide some information that all the other utility stakeholders can view. And I think this is a good thing. This is a good thing for us because we can see what other utility companies have done if they've marked their lines, so that we're prepared when we go out and do our work. And thus, we also provide that to the other agencies as well via this web-based system. So that's the crux of how we've gotten to this point. Because each entity needs to provide this positive response, SACWA needs to hand over some responsibilities directly to the communities, and thus we're before you tonight with the MISDIG agreement. Financially, SACWA is going to continue to cover the annual charges that we've always had. We will be responsible for a minor charge, more of a setup type fee in the order of $500 or thereabouts, so we will be responsible for that. But other than that, there shouldn't be any other changes. Again, I view this as a positive change for us. We're using the computer age system that we have, and Sean, our foreman, has already used it for several weeks. We were sort of the poster child for getting it started, and we're happy to have gone through that, and that's where we're at. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Schuler? Councilmember Blanchard.
Just a quick one. I just like to say, as a kind of a comment, I hope that the system isn't as complicated to use as the agreement is. I mean, this agreement is 25 pages long.
Yeah, it is. It's a very simple system to use. We've been using it for several weeks, and we haven't had any problems with it. So it is not as complicated as the agreement.
Very good.
It's good. Yes, it seems like a pretty self-evident thing for us to do here. And so, Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll on M1214?
Blanchard.
Yes.
Edgar.
Yes.
Kadeco.
Yes.
Stedman.
Yes.
Turbrack.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
O'Dwyer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, Ms. Prince, would you please read item number 7?
Resolution number R714, matter of approving a resolution approving budget amendments for the fiscal year 2013-14.
Is it a motion to approve or 714?
Move to approve.
Move to approve by Mayor Pro Tem Turbrack with support by Councilmember Kadeco. Mr. Sessa.
Council, as you know, we do our best to make sure that our budget is all in order. And in order to do this, we make sure that we're in compliance with Public Act 2 of 1968 as amended. And I'll now ask our Finance Director, Mr. David Sabuda, to go over the recommended budget adjustments. Mr. Sabuda?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members. Before you this evening, you have 3 budget amendments. They total new spending of $267,000. The biggest item A is in the general fund. This is the biggest amendment, $261,000. As you know, back in February, the council approved the purchase of land in the Oxford-Cambridge area, and we are now asking you to appropriate the dollars to actually pay for that. That is $250,000. There's an additional $11,000 in the amendment for ancillary costs associated with that purchase, and that would be budget amendment A for $261,000. Budget amendment B is the arena fund. There's an additional $6,000 in spending that is going into the maintenance and the equipment in the building. And then the dollars to pay for that is your options, or your budget amendment C, which is an operating transfer from the recreation revolving fund to the arena fund. That gives the arena fund the necessary fund balance to be able to appropriate the additional $6,000 in expenses to pay for the expenses in the arena fund. And with that, Mr. Mayor, I'll be happy to entertain any questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions for our Finance Director? Very good. And seeing no questions, Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll on R714?
Yes. Edgar.
Yes.
Kadeco.
Yes.
Stedman.
Yes.
Turbrack.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Blanchard.
Yes.
O'Dwyer.
Yes.
Thank you.
And now, Ms. Prince, would you please read item number 8?
Resolution R814, matter of approving a resolution of the Council of the City of Berkley, Michigan, authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement between the City of Berkley and Oakland County for election services.
Is there a motion to approve R814?
Move to approve.
Move to approve by Councilmember Baker with support by Councilmember Kadeco. Mr. Sessa.
Council, just examining the memorandum from our city clerk, Ms. Prince, she indicates that we have been part of this since 2007 when we had we had entered into agreement with Oakland County for election services, and as you know, this is coming up for expiration. Oakland County is and will be responsible for the ballot layout and programming for each election, and this contract has a term of about 5 years. The rate for this service remains unchanged since 2007, and it is asking for a cost of $300 per election. The service that's provided by Oakland County, we feel has been outstanding, and they have been also working with other municipalities in Oakland County. She also indicates in her memorandum that she feels that it would also provide us a substantial cost savings should we have to do the programming ourselves. She estimates that it would potentially cost us an additional $500. Now, this contract has been reviewed by our city attorney, and he is recommending it for your consideration. Ms. Prince is here, as you know, and is available to help me answer any questions the city council may have.
Well then, are there any questions or discussion from the council? Councilmember Baker.
Thank you, Your Honor, and thank you for bringing this before us here today. I'd like to just give you more of an opportunity to kind of explain a little bit more about what the county does for us here, and the ways in which we benefit from this. Having volunteered and helped out in elections in the past, I can certainly appreciate the work that goes into this as a poll worker, those kinds of things, and so I was hoping you could just share a little bit about what it is that they do and why this is important for us.
Absolutely. What this is every election when we have a ballot that's put together, they actually set the layout out so that the candidates' names are rotated properly, and then they coincide that ballot layout with the programming for the election equipment, so that when your votes are recorded, they're recorded to the proper people. And then on election night, we transfer that programming directly to the county for the results.
And so basically, they make sure that when you circle the right name, circle the name that's important to you, then that vote gets cast appropriately.
We test it here to make sure that it's working properly before the election, but they set it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, excellent. It's a job well done, and certainly they do it for so many municipalities that.
I think they do it for every municipality.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So it's like I said, it's a job well done. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Blanchard.
This is something that we don't have the expertise to do here.
Correct.
We'd have to hire somebody.
We'd have to hire an outside company to do it.
Okay.
So we're
I'm not gonna find anything cheaper than $300 in elections.
we're definitely benefiting from economies of scale.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. It seems wise that we proceed here. We have a committee, an elections committee, that supervises or reviews those checking up on the equipment, making sure the equipment works well. The city attorney, the mayor, and city clerk are on that committee, and we meet. What is it, every quarter or so, or something like that?
A couple times before each election.
Before each election, to do run-throughs on all of those machines, making sure that they're all working, and the results that are accurate from the sample ballots that run through. So our city clerk does a wonderful job making sure that our elections are well run.
Thank you.
And we're very proud that every vote is counted and every vote counts. Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll on R814?
Kadeco?
Yes.
Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Blanchard?
Yes.
Edgar?
Yes.
O'Dwyer?
Yes. And now we come to the communications portion of tonight's meeting, and Councilmember Stedman is up first.
Oh, wow. Okay, first of all, the Beautification Committee has been really quite active as you can be in the middle of the winter, I guess. But you might have seen a picture, and I think it was in the Woodward Talk, of Doug Deeds at the greenhouse. Right. They have pretty much commandeered the greenhouse at Berkley High School, which has been used for storage for years, and are using that to plant seedlings and grow plants to plant in various areas around the city. Another one of their projects was painting fire hydrants, which they got a lot of them done for the Dream Cruise. And they hope to get a lot more of them done this year after when we can see them again. And also one of their projects is the bus stop up here at 12 Mile in Greenfield, 12 Mile in Woodward. And there's a bus stop there, and they want to plant some flowers around it and make it look a little bit more inviting and so on for people who are sitting at the bus stop and when the bus comes by. In the Berkley Library, I unfortunately didn't make it to their last meeting because I was waiting for a tow truck. But Lillian Greenhut retired from the library after 45 years of service. Congratulations to her, and I wish her well in her retirement. The library was selected as one of the host locations across the state of Michigan for the Michigan Notable Books Tour program. Linda Hunt, who is the author of Sweet Delicious Pies, Eat Pie, Love Life, will be speaking at the Berkley Library on Wednesday, June 4th at 6:30. And they're very honored to be serving as host library for this program. Dr. Roy Finkbein addressed a crowd of 42 people on February 11th and he talked about the popular book 12 Years a Slave. And they had the Friends had a very successful Valentine's bake sale and raised over $400. So thank you to the bakers, the purchasers, and everybody that participated in it. That's all I have, except happy Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh. I'm
yet,
behind.
no.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Councilmember Blanchard.
Just another reminder, there's only 3 days left till spring now. Even though it's a little cold out there, three days left. One item I'd just like to thank everybody that worked on the Home Improvement Expo. It was very nice and a lot of chance to find places to do work on your home and make your home improvements here in Berkley and make things a little bit better. And in addition to what my colleague said about have a happy St. Patrick's Day, have a safe St. Patrick's Day.
Good, thank you. Councilmember Baker.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. And to build on that, happy, and give thanks to our safe St. Patrick's Day. I'd like to thank the hard work of our Public Safety Department and DPW for putting the fire lane in place along one of our streets that is really popular this time of year and really busy with the St. Patrick's celebration. So thank you. The residents are real pleased about that. They feel safe and the business is thriving. Everybody's having a good, safe time. So thanks to everyone for that. And Berkley has been in the news a lot lately, and it kind of just caught my attention just how many ways in which our community is fantastic and is being recognized for those things. So I had just a brief recap of some of the ways that we've been in the headlines just recently. The home safety experts at safewise.com named Berkley as one of the 5 safest cities in the state of Michigan. We talked about that. Building on the 5 theme, 5 of our restaurants were featured in the Detroit News recently for their great dining. Amici's, the Becky's Nip and Tuck, Elwin & Co., the Panini Press, and Republica. And special mentions to O'Mara's as they're celebrating their 20th anniversary here with the St. Patrick's celebration, so good to them. In addition, the 2014 Michigan Green Communities Challenge results have acknowledged the city of Berkley at the silver level, which are recognized for environmental leadership at the Michigan Green Communities Conference. So that's fantastic news. Our Berkley Court scored exceptionally well in public satisfaction surveys, far more than 10% higher than the state average in terms of the experience. You usually don't necessarily want to enjoy going to the court, but they do a terrific job of helping make the process go as smoothly as possible. And recently the city won over $600,000 in grant money to fund our stormwater asset management and wastewater projects from the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality. So when I think about all the ways in which our city is being recognized, both locally but also across the state and across the country, it's remarkable on all the great things that happen, both from the businesses that choose to call Berkley their home, the many residents that support them, the volunteers that help make all these things happen, the context and the environment within which we here in the administration and staff make this happen. It's absolutely remarkable. One of those organizations is the Downtown Development Authority, the DDA. They met last week, and they approved their recommended budget for the upcoming fiscal year as part of their process. We will be seeing that as part of the budget review cycles a little bit later on, but I'm pleased with the direction they're headed with that. And now is the time to start thinking about these big projects that we want to do in the next couple of years. The way their budget and their funding works out, there will be some revenues and some funds available for some projects a couple of years from now. And actually, now's the time to start talking about how we might use that and program that to maximize what we can do in the downtown. So I'm pleased that they're aware of that and beginning that dialogue now, not waiting until 3 years from now when it's time, or 2 years from now when it's time to start doing something. And noted author Haruki Murakami once said, "If you're young and talented, it's like you have wings." Again, Haruki Murakami once said, "If you're young and talented, it's like you have wings." And what he means by that is that notion of talent, that ability to go out and do wonderful things. We see a lot of that talent here in the city of Berkley, as I just mentioned. This notion of retaining that talent here in our city and in the region is paramount to us in terms of sustaining this great track record that we have as a city. One of the topics that will be discussed at this week's Michigan Municipal League Capital Conference has to do with the notion of talent. They call it talent in place as part of the placemaking agenda. And it's an in-depth discussion with state legislators about trying to create some tools and mechanisms for cities like ours to create a context to retain the talent we have, the youth of our city and our future, and to help retain them here and to attract additional talent to stay here as part of Berkeley and the region. So when I think about all the accomplishments that we have, so many people are involved in so many of these accomplishments. The talent is tremendous. And at the state level and here in the city, we recognize the importance to create and to continue to create an environment, a context that this talent can and will stay and help move our city forward. So I'm real excited about that. More news to come on some of the specific policies that we can put in place to help keep our talent in place. So more to come on that. And thank you again. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Turbrack.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a few quick items tonight. First off, I'd like to welcome and congratulate Matt Maste on his internship in the city of Berkeley. We're certainly happy to have you. I noticed when you were giving your talk earlier, you seemed to focus a lot on Oakland University, your master's program, and I'm not exactly sure why you would kind of downplay your undergraduate degree from Central Michigan University. There are some chips on this council as well. Fire up chips. I don't want to make sure that stays up there as well. I mean, you've already got a degree from there. You're just trying to get one from this other place. But anyway, welcome. I want to thank the cities, our neighbors at Huntington Woods, City of Oak Park, and the school district for the joint meeting that we had last week. It was just last week, where we were able to discuss regional collaboration with each other and how we can help each other out. But also at these meetings, it's about building relationships for all of us so that when we have to talk and we need to make these decisions and make these agreements, it's much easier to make that happen. So I want to thank them for sending representatives. I also want to thank everybody, as Councilmember Blanchard mentioned on the Home Expo. It's one of those events that takes a lot of effort, and a lot of people don't realize the effort that it takes to set something like that up. And Randy certainly works hard on it every year. I know Amy Vanson helped out as well. But there's a lot of planning that goes into getting all of those vendors there, and that's something that's for our residents. You want to do home improvements, and we've got all of them right there in one building. So I certainly want to thank them. And finally, coming up on Saturday, March 22nd at 6 p.m., we have a cartoon theater. It is going to be $2 for youth and seniors, $3 for adults, or a special rate of $8 for family. I don't care how many people are in your family, $8. Deal. That's at the community center. And again, starts at 6 p.m. You could already get tickets. They went on sale March 3rd. These have been very successful events, and they seem to get bigger and bigger each time we have one. So again, that is coming up Saturday, March 22nd. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Edgar.
Just want to wish everyone a very happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you. Councilmember Kadekel.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. Councilmember Baker was speaking about young and talented, and I see we have someone here today that is taking a lot of good notes. So I want to welcome you to the council meeting, and I hope you're enjoying it and come back to a lot more. On March 4th, I had the pleasure of going to Yost Arena and watching the Bears hockey team play, and it was a great game till the last 10 seconds, but you know what? I want to congratulate the Bears. They did a great job. I want to congratulate Coach Fleming and his staff. And another thing that Berkeley was back in the news for. And the team that beat them went all the way to the finals. So they were, they played really well against them. This past week, I had the pleasure of going to Scratch Golf, which is a new business on Woodward, just south of Vincetta Garage. And I'm not a golfer, but I know that they will help you with your swings, and they have sophisticated, if I could say the word, machines there, and it would be worthwhile to stop in and check it out, Mr. Kurtz. The 2 weeks from today is Tigers opening day, and it looks like the weather's going to cooperate, but again, you never know in Michigan, I'm hoping. I too enjoyed the Home Expo this past weekend and thank everyone involved. And we won't be meeting before April 3rd, but Mayor Pro Tem will be celebrating his birthday along with Judge Wittenberg, who will be celebrating a very special birthday. So I want to wish all of them a very happy birthday. And that's about it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Sessa.
Mr. Mayor, I too want to welcome and thank our new intern for the City of Berkeley, Matthew Meste. I'm very, very, very pleased that he's joined our team, and so far so good, as they say. But I think that it'll be a reciprocal, where not only will he be able to gain the experience that he needs in order to someday be a city manager or wherever he wishes to go, but we can also learn a lot, and so I'm anxious for that. I'm very, very pleased, and so thank you, Matt. Thank you very much for choosing us as well. Very, very good. I'd also like to express my appreciation to the individuals who worked on the Home Expo, in particular the city planner, Ms. Vanson. I was there on Saturday, and I was so glad to see all the various contractors there, and I'm hoping that we will continue. You know, I know that Councilman Turbach mentioned our meeting with the school board. And I will be meeting very soon with the city managers from the cities of Huntington Woods and Oak Park to take a look at perhaps some other ways we might be able to work together. And certainly the Home Expo is something that we're talking about, and amongst other things. So I'm very pleased about that. Also, I'd just like to again let the residents know that we are working on a mobile app, and we're hoping to get that accomplished within the next few weeks. We're getting closer and closer, as they say. We just have to narrow down the items, and we want to make sure that when we do release it, that it's going to be workable and that it's going to be easy. And so we're hoping that the residents will find it useful. You know, all of this information that you've heard this evening can be found on our website, and that's at www.berkleymish.org. So residents and council, if you need some more information, please go to our website, and you'll get some more details. And I too would like to say happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone, and thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's all I have to report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Sabuda.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd just like to take this opportunity to wish everyone a safe and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney.
Just one item, Mayor and Council. I'm not sure if John has told you this. The state legislature is currently working on House Bill 5381, which may require some additional contract language in local municipal contracts, cities, villages, and townships. John or myself will keep council abreast of developments with that legislation as it moves forward and gets further consideration. And that's it.
Very good. Thank you. We have the Mayor's Cup coming up on Saturday, the 22nd at 1 o'clock in the Ice Arena. It is a fun day. Number of teams play. Our city teams play each other. And it is those kinds of games that help surface young talent. And they become the kids that carry the high school colors into quarterfinals and bring distinction to the city. It was a great achievement this year for our Berkeley hockey team. And I too would like to congratulate Coach Fleming and his staff, all the players, and the parents of those players who sacrifice a great deal to bring them to hockey games and to get them ready and invest a significant amount of money as well into that sport. So we congratulate all of them. And we welcome Matt, of course. We're delighted you're here. You can see that Oakland University is the icing on the cake. But the foundation was fine. But the icing is what is going to count. And on that thought, I wish everybody the remainder of St. Patrick's Day to be safe and happy for everybody in our city and throughout. And on that note, Ms. Prince, we're going to have a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn by
Support.
Kideckel and Councilmember Stedman. Ms. Prince, would you please call the roll?
Yes. Stedman?
Yes.
Turbrack?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Blanchard?
Yes.
Edgar?
Yes.
Kideckel?
Yes.
O'Dwyer?
Yes. The St. Patrick's Day of 2014 meeting is adjourned.